Hi, this is Attila16. Alright, so here we go for a live stream of my Roman campaign at Legendary. So I'm experimenting this live stream thing on YouTube. I'm not sure it will be particularly amazing, but let's hope it is. So we'll do this battle, which was in the next, the previous episode. And this is an ambush, so wish me luck there. It should be fun, hopefully. So you can see that there's a very narrow spacing there. And it's foggy. Sadly, I cannot choose the time of the day. This is an ambush. So we'll have to do with whatever we can. Now, we do have lots of skirmisher in the back of the enemy formation. Most of their melee troops are in the front of the formation. I don't seem to have a particularly big army, so that might be a problem. But we'll see how it goes. So, what I probably should do is make a cavalry charge in the back of the enemy formation. Like this. And this will get rid of all the skirmisher there. Then I will charge their infantry with my own infantry. And my legionnaire should be up to the task, hopefully. I will deploy my legionnaire where they have a good angle of attack here. Although here there's some rocky area, so I won't be able to do that from there. And I have some skirmisher here, which I guess are more appropriate for a place where the enemy cannot come in or come up. And okay, let's see. This will likely be a pretty fast battle. And it will go well. I have more skirmisher here, which I might actually redeploy on that side here. And I think we're fine now. There we go. Ordering my different legion to attack different target. And now the enemy is aware of my presence. They will likely try to form some kind of formation. Our skirmishers seem to be rushing toward me. And there's even some cavalry which are rushing toward me. And now with my cavalry, I will rush in. I probably should have done that earlier, but we do it what we can. So, I see that some of you already commented on the live stream. That's cool. Tell me if there's any technical difficulty with that. This way I can perhaps fix any problem. So, fighting there. And seems that the Iceni decided to rush their skirmisher forward in here, while my legionnaire are fighting in here. I will simply bring my legionnaire, which get rid of those men on the side here, and engage that part of the fight. Well, it seems that the Iceni routed much faster than expected. Well, my cavalry here is fighting a few not skirmisher, but spear band warrior. I might as well disengage them. I will instead send my legionnaire to fight those. Now I will simply attack those enemies which are coming here. My formation is starting to be a little clumsy there. I probably should spread them out because there's a chance of being surrounded a little. So I will spread out my formation a little. While here with my cavalry, I will resume the chasing down of those skirmishers here before they rally up. So what's the plan for the stream is essentially this is the continuation of my Roman campaign. So this is the episode 62. So that should be simply the continuation. I decided to give it a try in live stream because that might actually have some benefit. And I also want to see if there's any public there. Why don't I stream on Twitch? Well, I do have a Twitch account, which is Attila Gaming Network over there, so you can go there. I decided to just give it a try on YouTube for now. And the thing is that also I cannot link my Twitch with my Attila16 account for the moment. So for this specific campaign, I will keep on it only on YouTube. So that's why I'm using this. Also, I want to see if people of my Attila16 channel enjoy it, and if the system is any better than it used to be, because I tried that earlier and it wasn't perfect, and YouTube probably did improve since then. And for example, I'm able to see the comment a little more intuitively there. And so it's not really that I have a preference between Twitch and YouTube, it's just that I want to experiment both of them. Okay, so back to the campaign. So I will probably attack the Iceni fort here. There are two defeats sieging it. I probably will be able now to capture it for good. I will take no chance, so I will bring another army, and this time there won't be any bug with the gate because that will be an auto battle. There's no point fighting this anymore. And anyway, with the gates not opening up last time, even one unit could have kept me out of that fort. So capturing that place. Now either I make it I occupy it or I subjugate it, I'm not sure. I think I will occupy it. This way it will make me have a foothold into England. And this is also the kind of capital of the place, so if my client state become hostile to me, then I will be able to either defend the place or have a good place to build an army. Will I ever attack my allies down there? I guess it could be a good idea because they're not really serving me too much at the moment. I don't really know where their army are. So they might actually be a good target because they're just there and at some point they will likely betray me. So it can be a possibility. And yeah, I will try to fix my artillery issue in the future. It's just that I do need to build up some siege equipment in place. But I think prior to perhaps the last few turns, it wasn't necessarily useful to have artilleries. But I think now this is starting to be a necessity. So I should address that issue very soon. There's two Iceni remaining armies over there, which will likely attack me back here. So I probably should take some measure for that as well. I guess I'll just stay on the defense there and wait for them to come. And here I might as well give some improvement to my general here. There we go. Yeah, those gates were quite a pain. Having to siege that place 2 times was kinda humiliating nearly.
At your command.
But I guess that's a good lesson, because if I was to win all the time, I will never learn anything. So losing is a good process. To teach you a lesson. Bring artillery, for example. When the live broadcast will be over, this video will simply be available as a normal video. So I don't even need to upload this. It will be there. I probably will be streaming either an hour or 2, depending how motivated I get. So it's up to you guys. Keep me motivated quite a bit.
Commander.
Okay, well, I will just cycle my different armies now and see what I should do. For example, here I don't seem... oh yeah, that's right, I'm at war with these guys, so I guess I will have to deal with those 2 armies which are over here. Either wait for them to the town here, for them to come, or I go get them. Not sure there's any advantage to either choice, other than perhaps speeding up the fact of going to capture that place. But if I lose quite a few troops against these, I will have to wait anyway to resupply my troops, so I might as well wait here in a town where I can refill my rank much faster. I also have an army here, which if I move them away, okay, the town doesn't revolt, so I might as well simply bypass those armies and go straight into the enemy territory. I won't go into forced march now, because I don't want to be ambushed, which could be very annoying.
Ready for battle.
Well, just cycling the different armies.
Commander.
I'm not at war there yet.
Ready for orders.
There's an army of Helvetii which I need to get rid of. I really wish they would not flee like that.
Kill them all.
This can be actually an interesting battle, or maybe not. It's filled with skirmisher, but I do have cavalry. And I seem to lose quite a bit of troop if I don't do it personally, so I will do it personally. And this will be an interesting place because I never fought in that area yet. There's big hills and a mountain and snow. So that's an interesting change from a perpetual desert. Also that means that they will be able to hide a lot of troops in forest. So that will be a rather unusual battle. How close am I to completing the campaign? Well, it depends which kind of victory I want. The easiest one will probably be to conquer all the world nearly. So I'm pretty far from victory, because that takes a while, especially as you expand toward the east. And now it's clear that I do have a good foothold into Middle East, which will allow me to conquer that region pretty fast, hopefully. But it's just that the more you go east, the more the enemy armies are relying on cavalry and skirmishers. At least that's what I experimented. And also the auto battle usually favor them quite a bit, even though their troops, when you fight them personally, are rarely as good as they are supposed to be. So I really don't know how far am I from completion. What I know is that it's clear that the fact that I'm recording the campaign slowed me down quite a bit, because if I wasn't recording, I probably could go straight in 2 days finish the campaign, but that's like non-stop. And I did that actually with the Greek and the Averny. Averny took me 3 days actually. But since this is all for the show, I guess you will have to endure the fact that this will take a while. So we're not out of the wood yet. How many territory I have? We'll check that after the battle. I don't really know. My graphic card is ATI 7950. So it's a pretty good card overall. Very satisfied with it, and it's not that expensive, all things considered. I think that's probably one of the best price card that you can get at the moment. Of course, with the new cards which are coming out lately, there might be new opportunities, but when I bought this card, it was probably the best deal at the moment. So this is my Praetorian. The reason why I only keep one group of Praetorian is because if you click on them, you see that they have an impact. There's a circle which indicates that they do have an impact on the troops around them. So they will likely boost the morale of my troops. But sure, they're really strong. But the regular legionaries are pretty strong as well. So and they do their job pretty well. So in terms of financial balance, it's probably best to spread them out and only use them into a very specific context.
Brave Romans to a man.
Okay, so there might be some cavalry over there, which I don't see. So I think I will send my cavalry to scout the left. Goes up to the general. Sure. I think he's right here. Well, that's him. Oh. If I get too close, his face disappears. So he does look pretty good. I like that helmet. So cavalry scouting. I think some of their cavalry is moving toward me there. Unless I haven't fought that much into snow, I'm not sure what's the impact of snow on my troops. But judging by the clothing, it's probably not enjoyable. Our cavalry also move slower in forest, so I guess it's probably slower in snow as well. I guess since I'm unopposed with my cavalry, I might as well go behind the enemy line. Which might create a reaction of the enemy facing my cavalry instead of my main army, which could be useful, but that's very unlikely. At the same time, that will give me a good position to rush the enemy in the back, especially the skirmisher, which are very numerous in that army. Okay, let's going forward with my legion. There doesn't seem to be any... Oh yeah, there's some cavalry here. I guess I will avoid confrontation with the enemy cavalry at the moment. We'll keep that for later. And I do have a lot of velites here. Velites are really good against heavy troops, what I find. Must say I did play with the Averni, and what I did was mostly having skirmisher armies, and that was extremely effective. Actually pretty tactical, because I had to avoid being engaged in close quarter. While with the Roman, the Legionnaires are so powerful that you don't necessarily need anything else. So walking in the wood. And now I'm probably getting very close to skirmishers. I hear enemy cavalry coming here, which my Legionnaire, even though they have swords, seem able to resist. It's really surprising that there's a cavalry charge here without any movement on the part of the rest of the enemy army. So let's get rid of those cavalry. Oh, that was pretty quick. My Javeliner also did a good job at supporting my Legionnaire there. So I suppose that's now the part where I shall charge the enemy. So we'll start with the troops which are the furthest from the enemy. This way it will allow me to order them one by one in a nearly linear way from attack. Also send some Legionnaires here. I will keep units of Legionnaire in reserve. My Velites, which I'll move forward to support my Legionnaire a little better. Okay, let's order the run for the charge. And now I will also bring my cavalry to charge in the back. My cavalry here will be hopefully charging into the back of the general unit. There we go. There might be more cavalry which might reinforce them a little. There you go, some cavalry here. Face them with my general here without engaging. And here I will move my Velites forward. I can see the fight. My different legions all over the place. Lot of fire. I have a little too much concentration of troops here, which might expose them to enemy missile fire, as you can see, literally. So my cavalry did dispose of most of the skirmisher from that side. Here I have some Legionnaires which are doing nothing. We'll engage them. And here we go with that. So most of the enemy armies seem to be routed. Still the general here, which is fighting my cavalry, helped with a few Celtic tribesmen. I suppose that reinforcing them will have been useful, but it's too late. This is the victory. So there we go. Can I do a face cam? Maybe one day, not now. Yeah, exactly. Do I have a face? It's a question I've been wondering for at least 8 years.
You have further orders? March.
Okay, so I did capture, no, actually destroy that army, which will be good because they won't attack me back. And also this region seems stabilized, but this is most likely because of my legion in there. While this other legion, I probably will move it away and simply go back in there. Or take back a position which will get me ready to invade further east.
At your command.
I guess here I'll just wait. I don't think there's anything to do other than wait. Unless, perhaps, if I was to dispose... No, I cannot dispose of those. If I was able to destroy this Iceni army, that will be practical, because then they will not be able to attack me with both army at the same time, but I guess we'll have to fight them both at the same time. One of their army is pretty weak, so that should not be an issue.
Commander.
And yeah, here I suppose that I will just stabilize the area. There's a rebellion here. I will move this legion over here.
Commander.
I guess we're fine with that.
Yes.
My fleets are pretty useless at the moment. Massive troll face mask, sure. That could be funny. Not sure we'll see the battlefield though.
At your command.
Yeah, this game is actually pretty easy. There's sometimes battle which I had which were really enjoyable, and one time I really got destroyed very well. But in many cases, the kind of difficulty you end up with is not necessarily a difficulty of, oh look, I've been tactically destroyed there. It's more a difficulty of, oh well, there's 4 army attacking me, like it's the case right now. So it's not always difficult for the right reason. But the thing is that I have a kind of a mixed feeling about this game. I really like the technological aspect of it. I think this is very nice, but in terms of difficulty, I think they really need to rebalance the units, because the legionnaires are just so powerful. And of course, the multiplayer is another feature which I haven't experimented that much, because I think there was still too much balancing to do before really getting interested in the multiplayer. But we might get there at some point, if I'm not tired of the game first. We'll see. But I think Rome 1 was kinda harder sometimes. And there was, I'm sure, those which were here 8 years ago remember many of my battles which were really tactical challenge sometimes. Against overwhelming odds, which were amazing. Some of my greatest battles were defeat. So well, in this case, when you end up with a defeat, it's usually because I'm fighting a battle which I had no chance to win, or that I'm extremely neglecting because I grew lazy. So it depends. Yeah, this might be a pretty Thermopylae type of battle. The enemy will come from that side. I will check. Normally, if I... Oh, by the way, I'm using the debug camera, as I said a few episodes ago. So normally I should not be able to see this, I suppose. But they don't seem to have ballista. So that means that all the fight will go on for that small gate here. So that will be... I'm rather curious to see how they will try to break through. I don't have much skirmisher, which might be my issue at the moment, because... well, sure. There's only the first row of troops which can fire on the enemy. But having more skirmishers still would have been nice. I guess I will use my barbarian mercenaries in the first row. And this also means that they will receive most of the skirmisher fire at the beginning. And I think I will keep many of my legion back until they actually break through the gate. This way, if the enemy has skirmisher that will fire on my troop, they will fire on those, which I see as less valuable somehow.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
We must make them proud that we are their defenders. More than that, our
Let's go
Roman
here.
gods are watching.
Oh.
Make sure they are not ashamed.
Yeah.
Close watch on those bastards.
Those watch on. Ooh. They talk so much. You know, what could have been funny though is to go out and intercept them there. That could have been nice, but I'm not sure if I have the amount of troop necessary to do so.
Men, swords drawn and make ready.
Ah yeah, 2006 to 2008 were great years for me. Great expansion on YouTube. And pretty amazing videos as well. Not saying that after it was worse, but I think these were glorious days because that's before YouTube was really mainstream, so it was a lot of fun back then. We were still a bunch of pioneers not knowing what we were doing, which was awesome. That's a lot of barbarian. I really wish more troops than the first row could fire on the enemy. That will make the defense much more effective, although it will be much more of a pain when you're the one attacking. But I guess that's part of the charm of a siege. Those towers are really murder. Now let's see if they are better thrower than my troops. 5% fire damage. We're getting somewhere, apparently. I really wish there was an option to open the gate, because I will just leave the gate open. Like, come on in, please. Well, they seem better thrower of torch than my legionnaires against the Iceni. Oh, by the way, that's the same town as I used to siege. Yep. Yeah. Oh, so the roles are inverted. Haha. Finally, payback. Yep. I wonder if I can order my troop to burn the place faster. Oop, cannot. All of Velites routed. I want to go home, please. Oh yeah, that's right. Forget about the back door. You can escape from there. Oh, there's actually even that. We forget about the back door. Who shall I send to guard the back door? That's assuming throwing axe. Oh, ace. It's red. They seem to be trying to burn the wall mostly. You can see. Yeah, that's questionable throwing. But you need to look at it that way. Look at all the pretty colors. Okay, well, let's send somebody to guard the rear gate. About... Nah, Praetorian? No. First cohort. And 2 legions. Anyway, if the enemy is as good as my troops were at burning that rear gate, we have nothing to be afraid of. Also, there's already 5 minutes that went by. Oh, the door is finally burning. I'll just move my slinger back so that when the door falls, it doesn't kill people above it. Oh, interesting. Now you see there's a kind of animation lag going on. That seems to be caused by the ships. Sometimes, as you can see, everything is very smooth, but like the animation are like forcing. Okay, well, did the door fall? Yes, it did. Redeploying on a wall. Now the entire enemy army will likely rush in. I will move my legionnaires in. I will only keep my Praetorian in reserve for now. I also have some troops which are really few in number. I will not engage them necessarily because once you reach a certain amount of troops remaining, you lose the entire unit. And this army has a lot of experience. So let's not waste them. Oh, it seems that perhaps they won't attack the back gate. They must know something about that back gate that I did not know. So, cavalry charge. Well, the good news is that I have spearmen guarding the gate, so for cavalry that should not... well, the cavalry will have some trouble. The AI still rush all their armies, including skirmishers. This is a battle of expanding a perimeter, literally. Don't really fight through, just rush through. This is something. I think that really leave me speechless each time. You know, the worst part is that sometimes this rushing in does work against some garrison. There's also the Navy which are coming in. Now everybody is fleeing. I did lose quite a few troops, I think, nonetheless. Oh yeah, my mercenaries. That's right. Okay, well. The first wave is mass migrating toward home. Something. And now there's the Navy which is coming in. I'll just verify that, yeah, nobody bothered to burn that rear gate. I'll bring my other legionnaires. Now it's time to destroy those navies. Yeah, that could be nice. Yeah, essentially you have an option when you customize your army or general, I think it's army, where you will be able to deploy some defensive stuff. It's mostly useful for outside, well, open space battle. But that gives you like flaming balls and that kind of stuff, which you can use to destroy incoming enemies. It also does boost your unit's armor and that kind of stuff. Okay, are we done? Oh, more navy. What is strange is that I do have an army nearby, but they're not coming. Who are these guys? Painted one. So I did kill 2,000 or something? What is it? Well, they did lose 3,000, but I did kill 1,746, and I did lose 158, which were mostly my mercenaries, I think. Let's execute a captive. So I guess next turn they will try again to capture that town back. And I will likely destroy them for good. As long as there are no revolt. My Gallic Confederation is thinking a lot. I wonder if they will actually bother to come help me conquer Germania. Subversion. Okay, let's finish off those Iceni armies so that they won't bother us anymore. Is that a swamp or something? I'm unable to chase him down. How about here?
To victory! Waiting for orders.
Yeah, at least that army will be disposed of. Am I a girl in real? I don't know.
On the move.
Nowadays, it's really hard to define that.
Commander.
But I will assume not.
Wretches.
I might be living in illusion, though. Never know.
Commander.
Okay, let's cycle the different armies again. And each time you wonder about what you should do. Okay, well, I guess I will go attack those armies over there.
And honor.
Even though the people are unhappy around here. We'll rely on my reinforcements, legions,
Commander.
which will come from here. Hopefully. I will just verify that the people are happy here, and they are, so that's allowing me to move my legions
Faster, damn you all.
over there. I also have another legion here, which will simply ignore the enemy presence. And I will go attack the town over there.
Besieging settlement.
Well, here, what's that? Yeah. Up here I do need to dispose of rebels before they grow too strong. Not a battle worth fighting. I will skip it. My YouTube picture is actually it's a screenshot from Arma, which I modified. So Arma has a tendency to look very realistic, and it's actually simply a screenshot which I edited and worked with GIMP. I modified it to look that way. It's kind of drawing, which I find kind of cool and unique. How did I get my name? Well, essentially that goes back to early 1992. So I used to play a game which was called Mid the Fallen Lord, and this is a game which was one of the first game which was kind of like Total War, but you know, much before Total War even was around, and it was a fantastic world, so there was undead and that kind of stuff. But what was fun about that game is that you were playing mostly multiplayer, and you were customizing your army, and it was medieval type of army. So you had warriors, which were pretty much like medieval men at arms, and so it was a kind of nice medieval game, and Attila nickname seemed to be fitting very well for that. As a result of this, I took it and just stick with it since. Rapper with that. Yeah, that could have been that. It's just to prove that you can interpret anything. Yeah, of course. Attila the Hun is my inspiration for the name, of course. He's quite a character. And the thing is that in the context of a medieval game like back then, the name Attila is a kind of name which is fitting to impose respect or fear. So to anybody which has culture. For people which have no historical culture, I guess it doesn't mean anything, but if you know who was Attila, then you know that Rome used to tremble just as at the name, and also he did quite a bit of damage to the Western Roman Empire, while he did literally blackmail quite a bit the Eastern Roman Empire before ultimately being defeated, which does happen to many generals at some point. But I think Attila is a kind of character which does influence imagination. That's why this is a fitting name.
Ready for orders.
I totally forgot to move those legions. Probably should have moved that legion up north to get into position to expand the east.
Is often taken to be a sign of deep affection and respect.
Yes, sure, Attila. Whatever you say. After that, you'll come with the quote that conquered, we conquered.
A token, perhaps a modest gift of coin, would have my people.
Well, the thing is that the Huns, they used to be sometimes used as mercenaries in the Roman Empire, and just at the sight of them, they will scare everybody. And the Huns are actually probably the main cause of all the barbarian migration toward the Roman Empire, because originally they were defeated north of China and began a migration. And in the psychology of the era, all the people which came from east were more terrifying one after the other, so the Huns were like the ultimate terror. What do you recommend to do on Rome Total War? What do you mean? And what else? You had a hard time playing with Persia game? I don't know if you do go there. Yeah, Persia is, or Parthia, I think, this game. The kind of tricky situation because you are controlling very mobile armies. And cavalry in this game, especially prior to the patch, had a tendency to get bogged down into the fight. While now they're supposed to be much more flexible, so they should be able to disengage much easier. So now it should be easier to play Parthia, that kind of faction with cavalry. Okay, so what kind of fight will that be? So we're in the Arabian desert essentially, and quite a few enemy cavalry, 2 armies. That will be a tough fight. Not too sure what kind of formation I shall take. That might be a very difficult battle. I think for once I'll deploy my elite in front. I will deploy legionnaires on the side here. No, actually, my units of legionnaire will be reinforcements. My auxilia will be on the side, protect from enemy cavalry. My velites will be doing what? I'll put them behind my veteran legionaries. We'll order them to use flaming javelin. I will disable skirmishing. I have my general, which is here. I will put my legionnaire a little back. This is starting to look like my formation of Shogun in multiplayer. Was victorious in like 80 battle out of 90. But against the AI, it's another reality, of course, because they don't care about playing weird. So, putting this group of units into a formation which they'll try to keep, I will use my cavalry to harass potential skirmisher, and then we'll be fine, hopefully. Who's my favorite company? Good question. Depends for what.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
I think Ubisoft is a great company for achieving great technical or visual effect. They are really good at making cinematic stuff, cinematic experience, but that doesn't make them my favorite. I think Bethesda is a great game for narrative. They have they're really good at making good story and good stuff. Also, they are really good at managing their community. They are, if you write them, they actually answer, which is not the case for every company. Also, what other company? I like Eugene because they make Wargame, which I find to be a very nice game. I like, who do I like? Bohemia Interactive, of course, because they make Arma, which is the best game that I rarely play. It's my favorite game, which I rarely play because my standard of playing it is so high that it's really hard to find the right context to play it. There's many companies like that. I like any company that make a good game, essentially. It's clear that some companies are better than others in terms of managing their community. I think the more you listen to the community, the better is the result. And there's many independent game publishers which are also really nice, which I probably cannot really think of who they are, but I probably did enjoy the way they make their games. Okay, what other question are in there? Yeah, cavalry can indeed win every battle. If you make yourself an army which is composed of only cavalry, you can nearly defeat anything, even a spearman army. Is crazy. What far after Rome? That's a big question. I don't know. What faction will I play after Rome? any proposition. So far I did play Athene, which I completed the campaign. I played the Averny, which I completed the campaign. I have the Egyptian, which I haven't completed the campaign, but I'm starting to be a little... well, I like the Egyptian. They're kind of nice because they're diversified. But I don't know. Fighting into the Eastern Front is not particularly exciting. So I don't know. If you guys have any proposition of faction after Rome, tell me. Of course, this campaign is probably far from over, so we'll see about that. Yeah, I probably should have attacked first. Anyway, I was talking to you, so don't complain. What's my favorite Total War game? It's Rome 1 Total War so far. I think Rome 1 was particularly good for its time. And also, I did play it so much that I literally got sick of it. But that doesn't mean I don't like it anymore. Yeah, exactly. Arma is really the kind of game that when everybody is in the mood, it gets epic. But the problem is to find the right time for the mood. Because it's like sometime you can play Arma and it will be rather boring because nobody is in the mood or in the zone for it. While at the time, well, actually, let's pause that talk about Arma and let's fight this battle. That seemed to be rather intimidating. I think I will pull back my cavalry here. That's a lot of enemy. The reason why I'm pulling back is to simply attract the enemy cavalry toward my auxilia. Like this. And the thing is that my auxilia are spearmen, so they should be very effective at fighting enemy cavalry. I might as well engage one of my reserve legion. Oh, that's really a lot of enemy. Okay, let's engage those enemy cavalry again. Lots of infantry also. It's a pretty big battle. Okay, let's see. What kind of situation do we have here? Lots of cavalry fighting. I will reinforce this with my legionnaires. Try not the best unit to fight cavalry, but it will have to do for now. Arabian cavalry. My general is under fire. One of my units seem to have been engaged in close quarter here. Well, here I do need to reinforce my cavalry here, so I'll use my legionnaires for that. And here I also need to reinforce my line here because I seem to be a little overwhelmed by number here. Same here. That's a lot of enemy. Okay, well here, let's re-engage that legion. Now my general is engaging the enemy over here. Seems that my cavalry, or something like it, was routed here. Which was something I was rather expecting. Okay, let's see what's that. Literally enemy presence all over the place. Let's get rid of those skirmisher here. I still have quite a fight going on here. Oh, that's one nice battle. That's I wish all battles were like that. Okay, they are charging my legionnaires in the back. Fortunately, that cavalry seem to have some morale issue. Some of my legionnaires seem to be wavering, which is a bad thing. And here, these legionnaires are not doing anything. I think I might... okay, yeah, I think I will actually use them to flank behind this part of the enemy army. And this way I might actually rout them And here there's oh, this is breaking up. It's not going well. Just so many enemies. Yeah, as you can see, they did manage to rout my troops there. And oh, actually, I think what got me there is the fact that my general died, which is rather catastrophic in that kind of size of battle. But that was a defeat, and it was well deserved, I will say. But that was a pretty cool battle. I hope everybody watched that, right? It was a great battle. Now that's the kind of battle I wish I had all the time. Because actually I did not lose that many troops. But I was routed. Let's hope that they are not able to chase me down. Okay, good. My legion is preserved. Nearly. Okay, now I'm looking back at the comments. Let's see. Am I playing on Ultra? Not really. I will show you what setup I have. And now let's choose a general. While we're here. So that legion, which is all over the way here, was defeated but was not destroyed. And I do have another legion here, which I totally forgot about. Will make its way toward the objective. Oh yeah, that's right. The legion which came from here. And I guess with this legion, I will simply move back at sea here. Or maybe not at sea. I will trespass. And I will simply go back into my province here and refill the rank of my legion. And now let's show you what visual option I have at the moment. I have custom, so take a good look. Here I have anti-aliasing on. I have texture quality to I. I see that there's a lot of difference between I and Ultra. Seem much smoother on I. And that's normal, of course, but anyway, texture and isotropic filtering 2 times. Ultra shadow, medium water, medium sky, shadow 5, particle medium, vegetation alpha off. In its size large, but I think the campaign I have now is more like ultra, so, or what's the size? Yeah, it's ultra. Building medium, unit detail I, trees medium, grass medium, terrain ultra, depth of field off, limited video memory on, but that's not really useful with my card. And I have SSA on, so I think for my specific configuration of computer and graphic card, this is an acceptable visual aspect, I guess. And also, mostly the fact that I'm recording. If I wasn't recording stuff, I could probably increase that a little, but when I'm recording videos, that has an impact on my performance, and that's why I sometimes have to do some sacrifice. It's all for you. Okay, so let's see. What can I do? What can I do at the moment? Just had a pretty epic defeat there. Was legit. Which is the kind of defeat I do like, because it does stimulate your mind a little. Okay, defeating that guy. Normally I think there might be some fleet of Iceni remaining, but other than that, yeah, those fleets. I guess I will have to go dispose of those fleet because they're looting the place. Or actually disturbing the trade. With my legions, destroying those fleet. And now normally Iceni should be dead for good. Apparently not. I'm going back into the town. I will set up the public order there. And so now I'm kind of at peace. Gallic Confederation doesn't like me at all, but that's not because I'm at war with them, it's because I made them a client. Other than that, I seem to be at peace, except in the Middle East, which I will try to conquer in the next few turns. And we'll see about that. Well, I guess this turn is over. I can perhaps just verify that I do have a proper level of happiness in my different province. It seems that this area is a little unhappy. But that's because I just conquered them recently, so that should not be much of an issue. Long term. But I will develop this a little because I do have the means to do so. Let's do this. I'm mostly investing in public order because the last thing I want is to have rebellion on my hand. I think having stability is much more important than having wealth or armies.
At your command.
Okay, let's end this turn. I have plenty of money, which I'll just keep. I prefer land battle. Land battle is much more interesting because you have space to maneuver. And the thing is that I like land battle. But the thing is that in this game, the way the campaign work, you want to engage the enemy in the town. So you want to attack them while they are inside the town, because then they take a defensive stance, which will make them much more easier to kill. While in the open field, it will be at your detriment to fight them, because then they'll have the ability to use number to defeat you, like was the case in the last battle I did. So the thing is that it depends. I prefer open space battle, but in the context of the campaign, it leads you not to necessarily like that. So, I don't know if you get what I mean, but it's like the way the gameplay works makes you not necessarily like it, because it just makes it much more difficult to advance in the campaign. But for the battle, it's much more fun when it's in an open field. It's just that in the context of the campaign, you don't want the consequence. So, but in this game, you have so many legion that if you lose one, it's okay. You can recover pretty quickly. So I did lose a battle, but look at this. My legion is still nearly intact. I only lost my general and perhaps 2 units. I'm sending them back into my territory. It will refill them in troops and will be as new. And I think that was a pretty big defeat I had there because of the enemy amount. So, depends. It was a fun battle. Yeah, I love you too. I love all my viewers, of course. Such a nice people. And everybody is usually interesting when they write a nice comment. And when they start putting some reflection in their comments, that's really cool. Especially when they start questioning all my right choice. It's very good because that's stimulating. Means that that's what is interesting about making videos and having an interaction with the other players, is that they bring you back to why are you doing this? Why are you playing that way? And in many cases, especially when I started, it's like I had a way of playing which was, you know, all well integrated, but I had completely lost all the reason why I used to play like that. And just by interacting with my viewers, it ended up bringing back, oh wait, that's why I'm playing like this. Or it's like many times you end up being questioned about why you do that stuff, and that's when you're like, oh, back at the root of all my approach to the game. So that's what is fun about it. What do I think about the Rome Total War 2 map? Well, I think this is quite a nice map. It's good looking, no question about it. It's pretty wide. I think what I like about it is that, yeah, it's huge, lots of place. It's very nice. I would have made it perhaps a little more spread out, so larger, which would have been nice. I will have reduced the objective of the campaign because I think. Well, let's go to the objective of the campaign. I need to control 140 settlement to win. I currently have 66 settlement, and I think they're giving an objective which is way too big. Conquering 140 settlement. Sure, I can do it 2 days full time, but that's just a huge commitment, and I think it's just so big to conquer all this and time consuming that by the time that you reach 140 settlement, you're kind of tired of it. So I think that's a little what I don't like about the map of the game, but it's because of the gameplay mechanic of it. And the thing is that if they had given a smaller objective, that would have made it less annoying long term, and also it mean that if you were to conquer all the map, it will have been your own choice. So it will have been your inner drive which made you conquer the whole map, and not the fact that you need to do so. So because once you conquered what they tell you to conquer, well, the fun of the external stimulation is over. So that's why if I was them, I would have given a much smaller objective. Or make like the previous games where you had a short campaign and a long campaign, and give the choice about that. But right now it's just you have this huge map which you're forced to conquer in order to win, and that make it an external drive to your motivation, which is not necessarily healthy in the long term of the game. Attila, please marry me. Well, I'll think about it. You know, it's a deep question. Cannot do much about it at the moment. Yeah, it's a very detailed map, but it seemed to be. Yeah, I will have made it bigger. It's just the objective which I will have made differently.
Commander, the way is blocked. Besieging settlement.
Okay, well, I'll continue to conquer that place.
Ready for battle.
Occupying the place. Now that faction only has one town, which is over here. So, but they still have their armies on my territory, which means that I'm stuck defending my territory for the moment.
At your command.
Well, here, my legion finally reached my own territory, which now seem a little useless because that's my own territory here. So, but they had a good wall, you know, scouting never hurts. Now let's cycle all my legions all over the place again, which I do every turn, and I keep saying it. And I will make my way to the main content. And now I suppose that I should take position to invade that small faction here. I believe they are a small faction. I will just verify that quickly. Let's see. No, they're not that small. They also have some province here. So I will have to invade them from multiple front. My legion, which are up north, will invade from the north, and my other legion will start moving to get into position to attack all the enemy territory at once, taking advantage of the dispersion. Well, here there's quite a few troops that we can bring up. That affect the public order, which is something I don't want at the moment.
a garrison?
After Rome 2, will I play some more Men of War? Well, I know that there's Men of War 2, which is coming. So I might actually play that. Hopefully it's... I think it's Digital Mindstuff which is making it. And there's also another game which Digital Mindstuff is doing, which is called Call to Arms, I think. And that might be actually a good game to play as well, which are both essentially Men of War. So I might actually get back to that. I think that's a series of game which is pretty awesome. It's a really fun game. If you guys never tried Men of War Assault Squad, that's one of the best RTS out there. It's quite challenging in multiplayer as well, because you can end up facing players which are amazing. And that's the thing is that to be really good at that game, you need to be in shape, I will say. That's why I'm not playing it that much in multiplayer anymore, because it requires a lot of attention, a lot of concentration. If you play this game quite a bit, it's very intense and nearly exhausting at some point, but probably one of the most rewarding game out there to play, especially if you understand all the small subtlety of it. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. I guess my different legion now have moved all over the place. I suppose I should send this one to my future enemy territory. I will trespass on their territory, but I'm sure they won't do anything about it. One time as another faction, I think, yeah, as Egypt, I actually looted or raided the Roman territory until they had minus 2,500 diplomatic score toward me. That was a little ridiculous. So trespassing on another faction territory doesn't seem much of an issue, and raiding them is not an issue either. This game, you don't seem to mind it much, other than saying, "Oh, stop that." If I ever heard of Dota 2, yes, I did. I did play it a little, but it's a kind of game which doesn't fit my taste. I understand why many people like it, but for me, it doesn't really fit my taste, because it's a lot of well, you just micromanage one single character and you boost him with stats and that kind of stuff, with special items, and it's not really my style. I'm not much into RPGs anymore. I used to be a little more into that a long time ago, but I got over it at some point. I prefer games like Mountain Blade or Dark Soul, where you're more the it's more the way you play that change how you're good against the enemy, as opposed to how leveled up or how customized your character is. If you're skilled at a game, you should be able to beat anything, no matter the level of it. And that's why Mountain Blade or other game of that type are more my style of experience, I suppose. Same with Skyrim and Oblivion. I think these games were pretty good. Because they did not necessarily rely only on the leveling up to make it fun. And no matter what level you were, you could still defeat the enemy. How will I deal with civil war? Well, I already dealt with it, so there won't be any more civil war. I destroyed the Senate quite a long time ago, and so normally there shouldn't be no more issue with that. But when that happened, for those that did follow the series, it was quite a pain. What did you miss? Everything. I'm sure the other will brief you on that, actually.
Your orders?
Oh yeah, you did miss a pretty epic defeat. It was very nice. It was very stimulating.
Ready for orders.
There's nothing like a defeat to wake you up. Okay, well, I guess here I could probably... I will make an auxiliary thing. Because we're in newly conquered territory, and auxilia can be interesting sometimes. And I don't really plan to develop much my military might over here, since I'm just expanding here just to get rid of my enemies at the moment.
Ready for orders.
Which means that I probably should build up a legion somewhere. Oh yeah, I have that legion, which I will probably sneak around using the sea. And we'll go all the way here to defeat my enemy.
Ready for orders.
Okay, let's can I recruit stuff here? Yes, I can. What do I need? What do I need? Well, since I'm expanding east, I will need more cavalry. But since I'm in a fast move at the moment,
At your
I
command.
cannot do so.
Advance.
I will just head south for the moment. Did I hear about the new Mountain Blade? Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. They have released a few screenshots of it, which do look like the original Mountain Blade with better graphic. I think I'm not expecting a revolution from Mountain Blade 2, but I think they will do what they did very well in the first one. So I'm expecting a very similar, if not identical, experience, but hopefully with better technology and improvement to the engine. I just hope that they will also support the modding community as much, because I think the openness of the original Mountain Blade was largely what made it great. So mods were really amazing for that game. So I do hope that they will open it up as soon as possible and make the game available as soon as possible to a larger audience and modders.
We hunger.
I think Mountain Blade 2 will likely be a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. What else? Like Mountain Blade's mods. Yeah, it's clear that Mountain Blade, after a couple of hundred of thousand or hours, gets a little boring, especially in single player. But the multiplayer can, especially when you do duel and multiplayer in Mountain Blade was amazing. It was great. Especially when nobody had a clue how it worked. That's the best moment of a game. When you play a game and nobody has a clue in multiplayer, that's the best moment to play. Because then it's fun, everybody experiment, and but then you end up having people which only play a single game, and then your experience is ruined because they are undefeatable. Well, having only Warband and not the original Mountain Blade is not much of a difference, because Warband is like Mountain Blade but improved, so it's the same game nonetheless, with a multiplayer added.
Ready for battle.
Although there's some mod that the original Mountain Blade had and never made it to Warband, which is kind of sad. And some of them are really amazing.
Ready for battle.
And still are, by the way.
At your command.
Okay, let's see. I mean, okay, I think all my armies are done. Yeah, I think Mountain Blade community, because it wasn't mainstream, was also very friendly. There's many cool people that that's what I like about indie games, or less mainstream game, is that you generally have people which are nicer, smarter, and everything, which are playing those niche market game. And I think that's one of the thing which is really good about smaller games. Now that doesn't mean that mainstream game has only idiot playing, but it's just that let's say that the great people are a little more diluted. They're not as easy to find or as concentrated in a specific area.
At once. Ready for
Okay,
battle.
this army is suffering from attrition. It's winter, apparently. So I will go next to that town there. My army should be ready to invade that place very soon.
At your
I'm sure the
command.
enemy will never suspect that.
Get moving, you wretches.
Having a neutral faction, having their army next to each of your town, doesn't raise any suspicion at all. The normal thing in antiquity, totally.
At your command.
Okay, there we go with that. Here, what's the status of the public order? I guess next turn I will have public order in order. Here I do have a legion which remain there just for stability as well. Let's verify that it's still needed. It is needed, so I will move back there.
Ready for... We hunger for battle. Any man who drops out is left behind.
When do I get the Marius reform? Actually, it already happened. With the Roman, you can end up having the Marius reform extremely fast. I will even say that it's too fast. Now let's go into research. Now you can see the research I did. You just have to research this and this and this, and you have Marius reform, and that's kind of fast. So I did have I went there right away because that make your legionnaire so powerful. But in terms of challenge, I'm not sure it's worth it. If you want to play for the challenge, you go, you hold down on the Marius reform and you make the Senate time last longer. Okay, any other good question there? Thank people. Okay. There. Now let's cycle my armies.
At your command. Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Commander.
Yes.
My fleet is making its way. Or actually, I think I will go
Not
on
into
land.
those waters.
Because I don't want my legion to fight at sea. Because if I lose one boat, I lose an entire
Ready for battle.
cohort of legionnaires, which is not particularly interesting. Especially since I seem to be only producing legions in Italy. So that's a long way from all the way here to Rome. How about this army? Can I finally recruit stuff? Yes, I can. I suppose that I will increase my cavalry because that's what I was missing in the last battle. Yeah, at first I should probably build up,
I want hourly patrol.
actually move my army closer to where I want to send them. And now, yeah, thing to do here,
Ready for battle.
turning in circle, okay, ending turn. What episode did Civil War break out? Oh, so I can see. What episode was that? I'm not sure, but it's probably about episode 10 to 20, perhaps? Or maybe later. I don't know. But there's like a couple of episodes where I'm just defeated again and again, and then I win the war. That's usually what Civil War is about. It's you being defeated again and again, and again, and then you win the war. Because the Senate or whatever faction might be into your specific faction you're playing, they usually run out of troops because they just don't wait to refill their force. So usually it's like insane amount of enemies and then you win. Okay, my town here is being sieged, which is not practical.
At 'em.
And I think I will actually ignore that.
March.
I will just go capture all the way there.
Ready for further orders.
And the reason for this is that I have that legion right here, which I will bring fight all the way down there again. And hopefully they won't be defeated this time.
We must rest a while.
I think I'm neglecting this part of the world a little. I'm making a lot of food, which I don't really use. Okay.
Ready for battle.
Alright, now I'm just getting my troops in position to capture Empire here.
At your command.
I will actually explore further north
Is that all?
to just make sure that the terrain, well, the territory here is not the same faction as this one here. And it doesn't seem to be the case, so that's perfect. We'll move that legion on the road there.
Further orders. Ready for battle.
Now, assuming there's no revolt here,
Your next command.
that seems an acceptable risk at the moment.
For battle.
I will just move there.
Ready for further orders.
I suppose that I should perhaps try to raise another legion. Or agent, no. Raise legacy. I don't... what? That's strange. I cannot... oh, these are fleet, that's why. I thought they were legion, so I cannot reinstate the legacy, which is a fleet on the land. Although having a boat on land will be practical sometime.
At your command. Ready.
So I will raise another legion. Let's make 2 Praetorian for first cohort. Bunch of veteran legionaries. Cavalry. Full of elites, and that's a legion. There we go. Yeah, my people don't need food at all. I have a 91 food production. Not sure why I need so much.
At your command.
Essentially, I'm starting wonder if I should probably develop a little more my empire, because that means that I do not use enough food for the food I produce. Okay, let's see. Okay, here I will develop a temple. Shrine of Jupiter. I will develop those regions. This way it will stabilize it, and I will also make them much better at potentially defeating rebellion, which will likely never happen. TheYourGame.com is actually a blog I created a long time ago. I'm not really doing much on it anymore, but it's like a nice signature. Actually exists prior to my creation of Attila16 on YouTube, so it's older than all this. And the original concept of what it's supposed to be never was achieved for some reason. It's probably because I got just too busy with YouTube. That drained away all my time. Making video is quite demanding. Okay, what can I do here? There's nothing to do here really. I will do some commerce, which will generate more money, which I don't really need at the moment. Perhaps the legion I'm building in Rome will serve me at destroying Massalia. But the Your Game website actually, back in a couple of years, I used to write a lot of explanation about my strategies there. So there's a lot of content on that website, which was very deep and interesting. But it's just that I think there was so few people that went there that it did not justify all the effort. So that's why I relaxed on that in the last few years. But I used to write quite a bit over there. A lot of interesting content though.
Commander.
I'm an empire, yeah. Well, I am not an empire, but my faction is an empire now. I don't think a single individual can be an empire. Well, I think the form of government that you can choose is once you win the Civil War, you can either go as a republic or you can go as an empire. I think you get an achievement for either, so. Okay, that's the big battle. But this is a garrison, and the chance of me winning this actually higher than what the auto battle tells me. But I will not do it, because I don't think that will be particularly interesting. And anyway, I have another legion, which will come liberate the place again. I'm glad you love my videos. If nobody liked them, I will not continue doing so. So I do appreciate all the positive feedback as well as the constructive feedback, which I do appreciate as well. Gallic Confederation. It's my ally. One of the reasons why I don't necessarily like to keep a lot of client state is that later on they end up thinking too much. And that's why it makes the end turn a little longer. So keeping factions alive is not necessarily a good thing all the time. Let's see what's the faction around here. Okay, it's not a faction I want to get at war with yet. I will simply bring back my army from there.
Waiting for more orders.
Call your ally for help. No, I don't need help.
Let them cower before Rome.
Okay, now based on the balance of power, I have absolutely no chance of losing. So I will not bother with that. Anyway, the troops which are in the town are all probably suffering from attrition, so that's not worth fighting units of 10 soldiers. And there's the gate which could totally defeat me, independently of the amount of troops the enemy has. So that's one town which is mine. I will take this other town.
Is that all?
Yeah, actually, I have my Twitch account, which I'm not using in this case because this is a campaign that I keep only on YouTube. But if there's a lot of people that follow me on Attila Gaming Network on Twitch, I guess I will perhaps try to make more live stream there. But it depends. Because live stream is a little challenging sometimes. Because it's really hard to be interesting for hours and hours. And I find that on Twitch there's not that many people that commented last time I did stream there. So that's why I'm testing out this YouTube live stream. And it's also interesting to try both, because then you can see what's interesting about both system. And you can compare. And also a lot of my audience is on YouTube, so building up an audience on Twitch is something which will take a while. And when you're making a live stream and there's 2 people which are watching, it's not particularly stimulating, let's say. Of course I'm on a roll. When am I not?
Ready for orders.
Ready for orders.
Actually, I should be humble about this. Yes, I did have some good success, but I had some great defeat as well. So
Commander,
expanding slowly with great modesty, which is one of my great quality.
we hunger for battle. Forgive me, but I
So
can't.
don't encourage my ego to grow bigger. I need to remain humble.
Ready for orders.
Okay, well, I have that legion, which I'm hesitating to send back down there. Because I do have that other legion, which is coming anyway. I might as well, nah. Do I want to go all the way down there?
Hard on the oars, you men.
Yeah, the gate are clearly the main enemy. If you have 10
Ready for battle.
soldier which are defending a town, the gate will still kill 1,000 of your soldiers. At some point you end up doing the auto battle just to avoid receiving the fire from the tower. And especially later in the game when the tower have ballista and that kind of stuff, then it becomes very dangerous to personally attack the place. So auto battle becomes nearly an option to preserve your troops, because it's less punishing. And the thing is that
Commander,
you're receiving a lot of punishment from sieging those town which have ballista, but it doesn't necessarily make the fighting against the enemy troops harder. So you end up being punished just because the town is well defended by the towers, not by the troops. So that's why auto battle in this game is a kind of experience where you, in the context of the campaign, not doing auto battle sometimes can become an annoyance, because you end up losing too many troops for no reason. And the other way is also true. Sometimes the auto battle will inflict so many damage on your troops that you're forced to make a battle which is not necessarily interesting to fight, especially garrison stuff. So I think they need to improve that a little, the balance of auto battle, because there's many battle which the auto battle make you win easily, that if you were to do it yourself will probably be a great battle, but you'll lose much more troops. So I think they need to tweak the balance of all this to make it enjoyable, so that you don't have to make battles which are boring, and that you have to do battle which can be fun. And I'm mostly speaking here of garrison fight which are boring. I should not have to do those. While open field battle, I should have to do those much more often. What's the story behind the gate? Well, the gate can kill... well, first of all, sometimes they don't burn as fast as before. Or sometimes the angle of the torch that your troop throw at them simply make them not hit the gate. So that means that the gate end up being your main enemy and not necessarily the enemy troops. Also, the gate has the oil which will fall on your troops, and this might end up killing more of your troops than the enemy army will. So if you send a legion, for example, through a gate, sometime you can lose half of your men just going through the oil. That's I guess that's probably realistic, but it's not enjoyable. Okay, let's see. What's that? Well, I'm making more money that I don't really need for the moment.
Laying siege to the settlement.
I'm just trying to eliminate that faction.
Orders? That is impossible. Moving out.
Do I know Prince of Macedon? Yeah, I actually spoke with him a few times, and I did some voice acting for some of his adventure videos at some occasion. So I don't think I never played any battle with him or against him in multiplayer. But yeah, we actually did contact each other a few times, and usually can exchange message, and that worked pretty well. That's pretty much the extent of my relation with him. And I think the only reason why we know each other is probably because prior to him become that famous, I was pretty much the one which was when you were searching Rome Total War, you will only find my video, and that's true between 2006 and probably 2008. After that, new people came, including Prince of Macedon. I think he started probably prior to that, actually. I think he started in 2007. And because I stopped making that many Total War video, I started to be phased out by YouTube. So I'm no longer the Rome Total War when you search on YouTube, and there's a lot more diversity now. So there's many people which have replaced the space I used to occupy back in the days. And because I decided to diversify myself much more, because I felt that there was just well, at that time there wasn't much of a public. There was of course many of you guys which were there, which was really stimulating. But you know, being good at only a single game wasn't particularly stimulating, and I'm somebody which get bored when he's starting to be too good at something. So that's why I decided to diversify myself in multiple games, and that allowed many of my viewers to discover many great games, such as Mounted Blade and Men of War. And that's why Prince of Macedon and me know each other more or less. Not the best buddy with him, but we had a few contacts, yes.
We hunger for battle.
And the thing is that back in the days, me and Prince of Macedon were compared quite a bit. And I think many people used to compare us, you know, in terms of skill, which one was the best. And I never really got into that, and I think he did not necessarily care either after a while. So, because the thing is that the big difference between me and Prince of Macedon is that he only plays multiplayer, and I mostly play single player, which doesn't necessarily make me bad in multiplayer, but I'm not as experienced, and he's very much a specialist of Rome Total War, and I'm more like a diversified gamer. I'm like good at everything, but excellent at nothing. And I like diversity, so I like to be exploring many games. So the thing is that I don't think you can compare us much in terms of skill, because this is a specialist and I'm a generalist. I cover everything while he's really playing some specific game, and he doesn't really get out of the realm of Rome Total War 1 or Empire and that kind of Total War series. No, I never fought him. He actually did challenge me back in the days, but at that time I declined because I did not see any interest in challenge. And also, up to a certain point, especially when you become as as big as I was back then, and all things considered. Because now it's like Attila16 is a bigger channel, but it's not as big as many other channels nowadays. But the thing is that when you're on top of the world up to a certain point, everybody challenge you. So back then, Prince of Macedon wasn't as big as he is now, and there wasn't many people which challenged me regularly, which I'm glad that it's no longer the case. Nobody challenged me anymore. But you just end up being kind of cynical about being challenged because you don't care anymore. Because you know, being challenged is not necessarily interesting, because it's a lot about defining yourself. If you seek challenge, that means that you want to define yourself up to a certain point, compare your skill with other people. But you know, I'm kind of past that in my evolution. I've done that many years ago, and I don't care anymore about defining myself in a position to other people. So it's not part of my personality, and it's probably because I know who I am. So challenge is not necessarily an interesting thing anymore. Yeah, that Rome Total War 2 is pretty big, and it does look good. They did very well at realizing technically this game. They just need to improve a little the game mechanic. All I need. Okay, what am I doing now? I'm talking too much.
At your command.
Commander,
I should stop talking and start fighting. Let's do that.
forming a blockade. We hunger for battle.
Okay, so
We hunger for battle.
that's a neutral faction. Faction I was at war with only has one town remaining, I believe. Yep, they do.
At your
I will
command.
go capture it as fast as possible. Then we should be fine. I'm from Quebec, Canada, which means that I'm a francophone. I normally speak French. How about you? Where are you from? The turns are getting longer.
Our struggle will end.
They want to escape destruction with the peace treaty, in which they ask me for an insane amount of money, which I will not pay. Although I do have a problem now, because they have big fleets.
Retreat!
Oh, I think I might actually end up in a sea battle. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to fight this. Being the first sea battle in a while. That's good to see that we have a good diversity. Et quelques francophones aussi. Nothing like diversity. Best thing on earth. And now I need to fight with a weird army. Okay, how can I do that? I really don't see a thing with that rain and fog. I'm glad you're here. Okay, I do have a couple of barbarians, which I'm not sure what to do with. And what are these? Cavalry. I guess you can divide this fleet in two groups. the group which is expendable, and the one which want to preserve, which are my legionnaires. So I will divide that in full of lines, I suppose, or group.
Battle group ready and awaiting
So
orders.
group like that.
General. Transport ships at your command.
Brave Romans to a man.
I'll keep my general in the back. And now we'll try to fight this, if we actually end up seeing something, which probably won't happen. And let's see what kind of enemy army we have here. A lot of barbarian ships, mostly made of spear warrior.
Reinforcements approaching.
Yeah, we really don't see anything. I guess I'll go mostly with ramming the enemy.
Is why we fight them.
Why do we fight them? Probably missed the speech there. Arma and Total War, two great series that everybody should know.
Jupiter gives us strength.
Transport ships. We await your command.
Okay, well. So I do have an enemy fleet that I need to dispose of here, and I do have another enemy fleet which is coming in reinforcements. That will be joyful. What can go wrong with so many enemy ships? Not sheep, but yeah, sheep. Sure. Why not sheep?
Transports.
Shall I board them?
Commander.
I do have Legionnaire, which could be really good.
Transport ships. Ships waiting. Ready.
Okay, well, first of all, I will ram a few.
Ships ready.
I will board a few as well.
Transport ships aye.
Usually it takes at least 2 ships to ram one ship.
Sons of
Well, that used to be the case. Might not be the case anymore.
Transport ships.
Transport ships.
Hack them down.
So let's ram everybody.
Orders. Rome is mother to
Of course, I do have Legionnaires, which might be good at boarding enemy ship.
for Rome.
Ignore those sons of
How much longer will I be streaming? I don't know. You guys are the one keeping me going, so
Transport.
depends a few.
Move out. Weapons ready.
Okay, I'm being boarded. I did destroy that.
Let them sound them.
That's good.
Transports ready and waiting.
Let's board. No, let's ram another one.
transports ready for orders.
Let's ram this one again. Ah, sea battle. I really don't understand anything which is happening. It's usually what happens in sea battle.
For Rome. Transports. Commander.
So, I seem to have destroyed a few enemy ships,
Jupiter gives us strength.
which is far from enough.
Ready for Rome. Transports ready for orders.
And I have my Legionnaire in reserve here, which I suppose that I should probably move forward. And I don't see anything. I don't know if you guys see anything, but this is a really foggy battle. And there's not much to understand from it.
Transport ships.
I seem to have destroyed another ship here. Let's destroy this as well.
Victory for Rome.
How many troops? Okay, I have
Transport
3 more ships in reserve. The thing is that in sea battle, I think it's best not to engage too many at once.
weapons ready.
And because you end up into those
Sons of Mars.
nonsense formation, all bunched up, and that's not necessarily interesting.
Rome is mother to us all.
Your orders.
Okay, what's in there?
Glory to Rome.
More ships to ram. Okay, that's another ship taken care of.
Romans ready for duty.
Might as well disengage those ships for now.
Transport ships at your command.
And target another one here.
Ready.
All my expendable ships are being engaged here. I did lose one group here of cavalry. That's the problem with sea battle when you, especially when you have transport. You care a little less about the regular fleet, but when you're fighting with transport, when you lose your ships, you're really losing your entire unit. And that's not necessarily interesting. There's more enemy coming on top of that. Okay, let's do whatever we can now, because I don't understand anymore what's going on. All I see is ships sinking all over the place for no reason. For example, this one, which was nearly new, was sink on the first ramming. Go figure.
Understood. Brave Romans to a man.
What is that? I really don't understand a thing. Okay, well, I guess my fleet has been defeated. I don't even know where my remaining troops are. Oh yeah, I do have a couple here. Destroy them then? These are legionnaire though, so perhaps I should try to board the enemy ships. Let's try to do that. Likely a bad idea, but a bad idea are worth. Let's board them. Tiny ship here, which is boarding me. Actually, he's ramming me. I just ordered that ship to board this other one, which... oh, and there's also these. Have you seen all the amount of javelin coming in? That's not good. I'll get a unit of Praetorian here. I guess I would order them to capture that place. Oh, never mind. It was sunk by a small bump here. Well, here these legionnaires seem to be fighting hard. But their ship will likely sink very soon. What's that? That really doesn't look promising. I don't even know where my remaining ship is. There we go. They are getting back onto their own ship at the moment. Yeah, sea battle are really weird in this. I think ultimately the enemy will lose more ships from ramming each other than me. Look at that. Well, I did lose my legion, I think. Yep. And they did lose less, but they were more. And sea battle and transport ships, that's a bad thing.
Pausing.
Oh, another defeat, damn it. But I'm not a big fan of sea battle in this game. It's rather annoying.
It is an honor to serve Rome.
And it's so fast that it doesn't make sense.
Ready for
But we'll have to rebuild my legion here. That's why I had that province.
Commander.
But have no fear, I have more troops. Recruit some mercenaries. Bowmen. Useful. And now we'll go destroy. Avenge the defeat of my legions. Let's see. Okay, here, these legionnaires are refilling men. Not too sure what I should do. Let's see the diplomatic element to this. That faction seem to have only one province, and they seem at war with everybody, which make them a great target for me. So I think I will take advantage of this. I'll start moving there. While here I'm rebuilding this province. Okay. I need to develop this place as well. The thing is that when I capture a town, I dismantle everything. And I occupy this settlement, then I dismantle everything. And the thing is that when you dismantle buildings, first of all, you remove all negative impact it can have on your empire or your region. And the other aspect is the fact that when you dismantle specifically, you get money from it. So that's really good. And having a town which is of a lower level can be a good thing in this. Especially in newly conquered place. Okay, now. Legions, where are you, legions?
We hunger for battle.
They are all spread out. Yeah, I think. Hopefully I can attack this town this turn. Will be defended by a couple of ships. Yeah, I think I will have to do that. So let's defeat that faction because I need to. That's the last. No, that's not the last. But this is, let's say, the capital of that faction, and then I will simply have to destroy the other town which I lost earlier, and this faction should be over. There we go. This is a pretty standard town. We'll deploy my legion like I nearly always do. I'll put my legionnaire in the front there. I think I will put some more veteran legionaries here. I will send some legionnaire on the side here as well, where I'll be able to attack from multiple angles. And I think, well, this is not a very sophisticated deployment. That should do the work pretty well.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
The reinforcements should be coming from the sea, which is very usual. And now let's attack from there as well. Here. Here. So the thing is that the reason why I'm deploying on 3 sides is not so much for tactical purpose, it's mostly because by attacking from multiple sides I will likely kill way more enemies at once. Well, at the same time, or in parallel. So that should be effective. My velites are taking some of the punishment now. Might as well move my general forward. There doesn't seem to be any troops holding this part. Same here, they seem to have pulled back.
At speed! Melee troops!
And now I will order my troops forward,
Romans all! Orders! Obediamus! Ready and waiting!
especially since the enemy army seem to be spreading around.
Troops!
Here we go for the charge. Everybody's running away.
Jupiter gives us strength and infantry.
Now, these are veteran legionaries, so they should be better than my others, so it's good that the enemy react to these. And here I'll just move toward the position of the enemy, and with that legion on the back I will prevent enemy reinforcements from coming in. While here to be fighting some cavalry, a few spearmen. I will move my velites on that side,
Tribunus!
or shall I? Actually, there's no reason to do so at the moment.
Missiles awaiting targets! Quick march!
There's a couple of skirmisher here.
Orders!
Oh, these are my Praetorian. We'll do short work of that skirmisher unit.
Legionaries! Melee infantry!
Switching focus here.
Legionaries! Vanguard to engage!
It seems that the enemy which intercepted me here were not particularly effective at stopping. I guess the path to go there is open. Let's take advantage of this.
Romans all!
I will still keep one of my legion in the back, reserve, well, to cover my rear. Okay, he was moving without moving his leg. Legionnaire really had strange technologies. I assume the enemy is routed now. Now you can see from that side there's a couple of reinforcements from the sea. These are mostly skirmishers, so they won't be much of an issue. I might as well use my equity just for training purpose.
Quickly now! Pass cohort!
Oops,
Legionary
wrong button.
orders!
Yeah, I make it seem easy, but it's not really difficult. And this is a siege, it makes it much easier. Well, this is a siege of a town, as opposed to a city with wall. Okay, well, there's a couple of reinforcements which will come from there.
Sons of Mars! Equites!
Training for the cavalry, how to charge skirmisher. Sure they will appreciate that. There we go. Should be quickly resolved, hopefully.
Equites! Advance!
I just wish the fleet had more diversities in troops.
Praetorians!
Praetorian against skirmisher, totally even fight. There's actually a couple of ships which are shooting me from afar. And now will be the time to bring my velites over here. And I will send one unit of legionnaires here as well, to just block potential enemy reinforcements. And now there's a couple of units here which are enemies, which I cannot attack because of the bug of one unit can disembark or something. Where is he? Where is the guy which is blocking me? Or blocking the enemy? Well, that's one good unit here. Noble swordsman. I think I will actually intercept them. Do you get a prize for being here at the beginning? Yes. You can feel good about yourself. It's a prize in itself. There's a couple of archer which are shooting my legionnaire now. So I guess it's time to do the long-awaited testudo. Look, the legionnaire are so happy. Finally we used the testudo. It's like it's an event. Yes. My cavalry seem to be butchering everybody. Oh, what was that? Totally not the unit I wanted to observe. Poor skirmisher. Tribes people. Above that, my legionnaires are coming in. Yeah, well, 11 seconds, and normally that should be a victory. Oh. There's a couple of troops here which I can fight. Ah, skirmisher again. That's not up to my expectation. Okay, there we go. Victory. So the thing is that, yeah, I lost 41 soldier. Actually, 50. Probably a few of them were friendly fire, my bad. But I killed 2,700. So that should compensate a few friendly fire, I suppose. Oh, great. Victory.
You have further orders? At your command.
Okay, what's that? Okay, there we go. I thought I had the bug with the camera where you're stuck into one position. Totally not practical to have. I hope they resolved that. I had that once. Like you're stuck and you cannot move anymore, you need to go edit the save game to fix it. Okay, now I'm finally getting close to that town, which is my target now.
Is that all?
And I seem unable to land here.
Ready for orders.
Which is not practical at all.
Sail there. Not into those waters.
I guess I have to go all the way back north to be able to land. That is unfortunate.
Your next command.
Okay, let's cycle the different legions.
We hunger for battle.
Yeah, there's the war up the north.
We hunger for battle.
And my legion already moved there.
At your command.
These are just waiting for further war. Oh, nothing to do here.
Hunger for battle.
One ranked up. I will increase the rank. Got some zeal. Like, hey man, you want some zeal? Yeah, sure. Okay, ending the turn. There's nothing else to do there. I can make a setup video. You mean for this game specifically? Well, the way this game works, graphically speaking, is mostly that it's scaled from 3D to 2D nearly. The distance. So if you put your whatever graphical option on Ultra, it will render in 3D as far as possible. But if you put it on low, it will render in 2D stuff, which is fairly far. So it's just a matter of finding the right balance for your computer. And to find also the right balance in terms of visual element that you're willing to sacrifice or keep. And the graphical option also of this game depends a lot of on the system you have. So I might do a specific guide for that at some point, but we'll see about that. Depends. But since you ask, I will consider it. There's also some file which you can actually modify, and it might actually give you some option that are better than what the game allows you by default. Oh wow, that's affection with bows and horse and stuff. Oh wow, I'm glad they're not that strong. And they are suffering from attrition. Great news, I can auto battle this. That's just not a battle I would like to do at the moment, but I will make them my I will subjugate them. So now they work for me. Awesome.
Ready for orders.
It'll be good to have a faction which is likely overpowered in the long term, which will expand and won't necessarily become my enemy right away. Okay, well here we can probably finally attack this place, which will be quite a fight, as you can see. I think I will be the one attacking those armies. Yeah, that will be quite a fight. So, let's do this. Okay, you mean a hardware video? Or presentation of my own setup? Okay, you mean the real stuff. Fair. Well, I don't know. I'll see about that. There's nothing really special about my environment. I don't have lights in my computer at all. I'm not that kind of gamer. I'm a really practical gamer. Okay, I'm the one attacking, and there's a big hill here, which is totally not practical for attacking. And we'll go here where the hill is softer, or less radical. I do have a lot of cavalry, which will be very useful. We'll move them on that side. It's also winter, which might be not necessarily good for my troops. There's a couple of armies around the place, which mean that I should probably rush on the first one. So let's do that.
At the double. Stay in formation. Disbanding battle group.
General.
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
Okay, ordering my cavalry on the right flank. Also don't really have a visual on the enemy, which might be all the way down there, as far as I know. We'll see. My cavalry still haven't found the enemy. If they just wait for me down there, that will be perfect. I will greatly appreciate that. Or even down there will be even better. But the thing is that since there's enemy reinforcements, they might be regrouping with them. So they might actually end up taking a position which is very much in their disfavor. We now have a visual on a few. I will not wait for my infantry, and I will try to dispose of those enemy cavalry. Celtic warrior there. German scorpion, I will dispose of that as well. Because scorpion can kill quite a few men at once. There's also a couple of infantry here. Noble rider. That will take much more than my cavalry. Okay, I guess I won't get the scorpion right now. There's also those scout rider there, which I will intercept while my infantry is coming in. I guess since they disengage my cavalry force, I will engage as well. And perhaps maneuver around to harass their skirmisher. Or actually there is some catapult units here. I will dispose of them. Not catapult, but scorpion. I guess here I will move to engage the force which is over there. I won't necessarily engage right here. My cavalry here is being overwhelmed by number. I neglected them a little again. Wasn't a spear, was that? Never saw that before. Okay, I need to disengage that cavalry. There's too many enemies now. Yeah, that enemy army is really made of a lot of cavalry. I will need to do some population control and reduce this. While here, yeah, that artillery unit seem to be taken care of. What are these? Legionnaires. My trouble here is that the barbarian cavalry is really strong. Here I'll just regroup my legionnaires. That will be a pretty intense fight, I think. Yeah, I do need to engage them from multiple fronts to get rid of them. My Praetorian here died in great number, I think. Not sure. I think it was because they were charged by noble. Here I have still my cavalry, which is maneuvering behind the enemy line. They don't have much skirmisher in this army, which is neither good nor bad. This means that there will be much more troops to fight. Okay, let's disengage my different cavalries here. I don't have much cavalry remaining, so that will be a dangerous situation for me. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of enemy there. So I think this time, I will actually try to preserve my general in the back. I have no choice but to charge whatever comes at me, because if I don't, The enemy has a charge bonus.
Melee troops.
Is a little too big.
Romans to a man.
Oh, that will be a buzzy day. I guess I will engage that artillery unit now, because there's an opening. And all I need now is not necessarily to destroy them. It's mostly to purely and simply get them away from their artillery piece.
Double time.
Like I just did now. Now there is still some mercenary cavalry here.
Commander.
And now they're also charging me, which I'm a little concerned about.
Yours to command. Longbow hunter.
Let's charge that mercenary cavalry in the back. My own cavalry.
Equites.
While here, I still have some equity, which I will use into the fight. Of course,
Melee infantry.
the enemy troops are using their skirmisher to shoot my general,
Sons of
which is a fairly usual tactic in this game.
Quick march! Ready and waiting! First
orders.
And now I need to
Hunters.
ensure the destruction of the remaining enemies. I also need to keep my skirmisher close to the fight. That's quite a fight. I'm not sure I'll be able to capture the town after this fight. Might have suffered too much loss. I do not have an opening. Okay, yeah, here actually I do have an opening. I can charge those scorpion there, which might be inflicting some moral damage on my troops. I'll move that small group of legionnaire into the flank of the enemy there. I will also move my cavalry. Where are they? Yeah, I will move them away from the scorpion. I didn't manage to get them out of their equipment. That's good enough. Slinger is also a pain, so I will kill them. One of my legions seem to be routed, or cohort, I should say. Well, here, I'll charge the enemy in the back. There seem to be some movement toward a victory there. Okay. I will send my equity to chase down the enemy which are routing. This way they might not come back, which will be a good thing. There's a few skirmisher which are coming from that side. I will turn my skirmisher attention toward them. I'll bring those skirmisher here as well. We'll engage them in melee actually. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, because if they rout it might have a chain reaction. Now most of the fight rely on my legionnaires here. Oh, these are bowmen actually. That's why they're really good. Now my cavalry is to the melee here because I just don't want the enemy to be able to reform their rank. This legionary cohort is a little isolated. That's a bad thing. Fortunately, my bowmen are really killing the enemy very effectively. I'm even engaging my velites in combat. I might actually disengage them from there and try to make them engage into the melee there. There we go. That's quite a fight. I guess I should probably try to rout the enemy faster by a war cry. There we go. And what else can I do here? I will order my different legion to continue the engagement. I still have one board here, which will engage with that. Sword Master. Actually, they won't engage that yet. I will order my bowman to engage that instead. Okay, do I still have cavalry? No, I don't.
Romans ready for duty. Break advance!
Now, my problem is that this is a pretty strong unit and they're still in good shape because they were not engaged before.
We hunger for blood and battle.
Ready.
So bring my legionnaire back here. Mercenary Celtic warrior will engage that. I will use my ability to sneak around and perhaps charge these troops in the back. Actually, velites will attack this and this. That's quite a close battle. What are these? They have some troops here which will be able to support this. So I'll use them in charge in the group. Here there's still a close fight. Those enemies are actually good troops. Okay, it's time to charge those German Ute. That's pretty much a battle of mutual destruction that we just had there. I'm not sure I'll win this because the remaining troops are actually really good German troops. And I'm fighting with skirmisher right now. Yeah, look at this. Routing. And my troops are fighting to the last, literally. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it will clearly make a great archaeological site. Perhaps they'll even mine iron from it. Okay, well, I guess I should probably pull back my remaining troops. There's no way a skirmisher can defeat what remains of the enemy force. So I guess that did reduce quite a bit the enemy force. It was quite a massacre all over the base. It was a good fight. That was pretty intense. As you can see, the troops from both sides are pretty much exhausted. Except these, German Ute. Oh, and there was more reinforcements coming. Yeah, perhaps I did attack too many armies there. It was 4 or 5 armies. No problem. That's the kind of battle I like. Even though it's a defeat again, I only fight battles which are impossible. That was a good fight. Like that. It must not smell too good. And the fight even extended all the way here. Oh, turns out those mercenary bowmen did serve their purpose. I think they... I'm looking forward to the result of this battle because I think they really did defeat a lot of enemies. Charm of the bug camera. You can see that below the surface of the earth there's a sea. We're not aware of that, right? So I did kill 3,750 and I did lose 1,262. See, yeah, bowmen did kill 200 each nearly. So my bowmen were really good in this battle. But I did lose a lot of my troops and many of them were actually really good.
Retreat, men!
Which is unfortunate. I guess I will pull back this army. No point keeping it there. I will have to find another one to send replacement. Oh yeah, that one was defeated at sea, and this one is defeated at land. Those Germans are starting to cost me a lot of troops.
Get moving, you wretches!
Sending another legion. Starting to feel like I have an army of immortal warrior like the Persian. Always another one popping up from elsewhere.
March until your feet.
Here I'm suffering from attrition, which is not good.
At ease, men.
And here I do have another legion, which I probably should move up north. Sadly, the people here are unhappy.
At your command.
And this region might have been stabilized now, which will release this legion from the area. No, it's not stabilized yet. Delhi. Yeah, I'm starting to be really good at sending my legion to die.
Ready for battle.
I remember many of my subscribers said that they will be glad to join my army. Now it's the time. After those few battles, I'm not sure they want to. Okay, here actually I will destroy this. I will replace it by a blacksmith. Next turn. And here I will make my way south. I will hopefully not meet any resistance on the way and be able to attack that town to finish it off.
Ready for battle.
And that region is all about being stabilized now, so I'll build some temple, fort, improve the city. But I think my legion, which is over there, is pretty much stuck there to maintain public order.
We hunger for battle. Ready for battle.
Okay, I guess here public order is okay, so I will send that legion south,
Any man who troubles.
where I will rebuild it properly.
I'm afraid we cannot. We cannot follow this order.
Yeah, you cannot follow this order. Whatever you say.
Asking for orders.
I will send that legion all the way back to Rome, where I will rebuild it. Well, here I have a legion which is being built. Here I still have that legion which is not doing anything for ages. But that's because I'm mostly waiting for other faction. Well, first of all, to secure that region up north, and then I will come back and destroy that faction around here. I guess I could probably go destroy Massalia, which is my ally, but there's no incentive to do so at the moment. Yeah, it's clear that the friendly fire might be an issue in my army. It's a bad habit of mine.
Commander?
There's still quite a bit of army remaining there. I thought the battle was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 armies. So 1 versus 6, that was pretty even. Yeah, that's why I'm saying sometimes my defeats are greater than my victories. They give a much better result. And unlike some prior defeat, this one was pretty good. I think I did play a little more normally. It's just that there was too many of them. Okay, shall I go down there? Well, with that legion, I will go here. Because I need to refill the rank. I did lose too much from attrition.
We have simple needs. Your words carry a weight of sadness. I hope your gods gave you wisdom in this choice.
Wisdom, of course, sure. Will we get that from gods? Depends which god. Which, if I get wisdom from Mars, I'm sure it will be a very peaceful ride. Yeah, let's pull back from that. Today I could not pull back earlier. Oh, it seems that that legion will be gone for good. I will reinstate it. I guess that's faster than having to make it go all the way back to Rome. On the other end, I lost my good mercenaries. I'm very sad about that. Okay, an army was destroyed. I have professional soldiers in my army based on technology stuff. Oh no, actually that's the technology I'm searching. What's that? I cannot build this. Why is that? Need technology. Okay. I'll build a farm for now. Though I really don't need food. I will develop a little this area to transform the culture there.
We hunger for battle. Get to it, men.
It's time to go all the way back to Rome.
To your duties, men. We hunger for battle.
Is that army ready? No, it's not. 2 more turns.
Ready for battle.
My problem is that my legion are suffering from attrition by going north.
Your next command, Commander.
Yeah, they're having too much attrition. It's bad.
Advance.
I guess I will have to send them to that town and refill their rank. And from there we'll be fine. Mantling that stuff. And now let's see what's that. Oh yeah, army all the way down there. I still need to conquer that place.
We hunger for battle.
Actually attack the town.
Settlement. Let them cower before Rome.
Okay. Oh, that seemed really balanced. But these are all fleets. So that will be the next battle. I guess I will stop the live stream here because I've been doing that for nearly 3 hours, which is much more than I expected. I hope you enjoyed the experience. If you want me to do it again, make sure to tell me. And yeah, I'll see you on the next episode, which might actually be live.